Hi everyone, Orna here again from ornaonline.com, and this is a triathlon update or an Ironman training update that I've been meaning to do for months, and I just realised it's been such a long time since I last posted any updates, but that is purely down to the fact that I'm just up to my eyes at the moment between training and studying and kids and life in general. So I'm here today and I'm posting my first video since November. Sorry. So we've just over 4 weeks to go to Dublin Ironman 70.3. Getting very, very excited now. Little bit nervous, but the nerves are going and coming, so they're not too bad, and I'm well aware at this stage that I can do the distance. I can do everything that I need to do, and it's just literally a case of keeping going. My training over the last few months, I think my last video was actually about how important it is to join a swim club. And I think that the decision I took last October to join the local triathlon club in their swimming on a 3-day-a-week basis was probably one of the best decisions I ever made for my training. Because what happened was, not only did I get to know the other guys or the other people, but I also managed to get myself into a very, very good regular routine. And over the winter months, my swimming has come along in leaps and bounds, and I'm much more confident in the water. So much so that now on I want to say once or twice a week basis, a group of us actually go down to the beach and do a sea swim. This weekend coming, I'm swimming a 1.9 kilometre swim. It's called Escape from Ireland. It's from Ireland's Eye, just off Howth to Howth, and it's 1.9 kilometres, which is the distance of swim in the Ironman. We cover it on a fairly regular basis in swimming anyway. You know, it's not that the thought of it is scary or daunting or anything like this, but I'm definitely not as nervous as I probably would have been if I hadn't been attending the local swim sessions to build my confidence. Also, what's actually come out of these local swim sessions is I've started swimming with a second group of triathletes, or with a second coach on a weekly basis, just once a week, in a 50-metre pool, and we actually do endurance sessions. So it's generally around the 3.5 kilometre mark that we do up in that pool, and you know, it just helps to pace me and to again build my confidence and make me much, much happier in the water, which all leads to me being a happier person within the triathlon. With the triathlon coming up so rapidly, it's good to be able to say, yes, I've covered the distances and I've covered, you know, as much as I possibly can. Last weekend I did a half marathon, so that's done. The weekend before, I did the bike route with one of the lads from the triathlon club, because another offshoot of joining the triathlon swim sessions is that because I got friendly with the people up there, we actually started training more and more together. So there's a Saturday long cycle that we go on together, and started out being like 30 kilometers, and now, as I said there 2 weeks ago, I think it was just over 110 kilometers that myself and one of the lads did, just to get ourselves ready. And it's great knowing other people who are training for the same event and who are working hard. And then even people who aren't training for the same event, they're there, they're supporting you, and they're always training with you, and they're always up for training, so you're never training on your own, which is always good. So so training over the winter has been, you know, it's been very, very disciplined. Been doing at least 1 or 2 disciplines every day, and trying hard to make myself take at least 1 day off a week. But we're getting there, and as I said, with 4.5 weeks to go now, it's nervy, but it's not as nervy as I think I would have been if I hadn't met all these other like-minded people, and even having conversations about it and talking to people about nutrition and about how often I should be taking on board nutrition and what different types of nutrition should work. They're all beneficial. And so what I did was, last year I did my sprint triathlon, and then this year, about 4 or 5 maybe 6 weeks ago, I did an Olympic distance, which is kind of half of the Ironman distance. It's a 1,500 meter swim, 40 km bike ride, and a 10K run. And so I did that, and one of the things I learned about that was how to better manage my nutrition, because these kind of events, the smaller events that lead up to the bigger ones, you know, every single event teaches you a lesson, and I'm definitely learning from each lesson and each event, and trying to take on board everything is good. It's sometimes it's hard to remember everything, but we're getting there. And yeah, 4.5 weeks now. I have a whiteboard in my kitchen, and for the last year there's been numbers down the bottom of it of how many days are left to the Ironman, and we're nearly at the 30-day mark. I think today is day 33 or 32, and it started off at day 365 or day 200 and something. As soon as we knew the date was actually around, what date, or as soon as we knew what date it was actually going to be on, I started the countdown. So it's getting nervy. But this is only the first half of my goal. There's still the full Ironman, which I'm working towards next year. But definitely going into now the winter coming, and so it's August 9th is the Dublin Ironman 70.3. And then that's pretty much me and my events done for this year. The only other events that I'm working towards are the Dublin Half Marathon in September, and then the Dublin Marathon in October. They're my two last closers of the season. And I'm working on them because obviously for the full Ironman, it's going to be a full marathon. So having gotten at least one under my belt will be great. That's what I'm planning on closing out the season with. That'll be the end of October. Coming into the winter maintenance, then it'll be a case of knuckling down, getting the swim distance, getting a little bit more speed in the swim distance, you know, working on maybe pacing myself a little bit more, or getting a little bit better time on the run and on the bike. But for me, my main concerns are just crossing that finish line. I'm not looking for a podium position. I just want to cross that finish line. I am ticking off these life list lessons, or these life list items for myself, and I'm doing this just for myself. And I have to say, it feels great. You know, it feels great that in the space of 12 months I've gone, well, 18 months now at this stage, I've gone from being a heavy smoker, someone who was not fit whatsoever, someone who could barely walk 20 steps, let alone run 20 kilometers kind of thing, you know, to this. You know, there's an enormous amount of pride going on within me at the moment, and no matter what happens on the day of the half Ironman, I will be so proud of myself that I've come this far and I've achieved so much. Because it's hard when you say that you want to do something, or when there's a goal that you want to achieve. Sometimes the hardest thing can be just to even start, or the slog of getting up at 5:30 in the morning when it's bucketing rain outside, and you know you have to get out and go into the car, or get out and go for a run, or go for a swim, or, you know, just go and do something, because it's all going to help and it's all going to be beneficial. But it's all been worth it. And to be honest, now at this stage, I naturally wake up at about 5:30, and my day starts at usually about 5:30, regardless of whether I'm training or not. I found that what actually happened was that when I wasn't training, I was studying instead, because it's such a great time to get some peace and quiet, and the kids are still asleep, and it means I can get on with my bits and pieces. The kids are on their summer holidays now at the moment, so it's a bit more difficult to get my training in. So I really am making sure that I stick to my before school, or before the kids wake up, as much as possible, and after dinner kind of thing. The poor children are dragged on regular 5-kilometer walks after I've had an event, or after I've been for a long run or a long cycle, so I can loosen up my muscles and everything like this. But they've been really, really good about it. And the 4-year-old daughter wants to be an Ironman and loves doing her running. So it's great to see that, instead of her mimicking mom, doing this instead. So good things come. On top of that, I've managed to lose 30 pounds from the weight that I was this time last year, which is obviously, you know, always a great thing. Hoping to lose just a few more pounds before the main event, but like I'm really happy with how things are going. It's a slow and steady slog, but it is so worth it. And you know, I really am sorry that it's been so long since I recorded a video. I will honestly make an effort to try and do some more. It's, as I said, it's just college work, studying, training, projects, kids, life in general. Roll on August 9th, because the first thing I'm doing as soon as I cross that finish line is having a beer. Anyway, if you are undertaking anything like this and you are looking for support, or you are just wondering if you could do it yourself, I never thought that I would get to a position where I am saying, yes, you can do anything. I've been saying it for a while, but it's still kind of hard to believe in yourself that even though you're doing it, you can do it. You can do more. You can always do more. You can be more. You can have more. You just really have to put your mind to it. And you have to take the first steps. And trust me, the first steps are really hard. And there's always someone to compare yourself to and to knock yourself down against when you see how great they are. And when you compare yourself, it shouldn't happen. It doesn't matter. You run your race, you live your life, you do what you want, because it's for you at the end of the day. And so I am reminding you that if I can do anything, you can do anything, we can do anything. We just have to put our minds to it. Take care, and I promise it won't be so long until the next time.
This has been an online production.